We are going to start by using the ruby element, and we want to note that right now Link is going to be taking elemental damage. Basically he's going to be losing hearts because he's cold. But if I use a shield that has a ruby on it, he's no longer going to take this elemental damage. So he's okay. Now, it doesn't have to be the shield. It could be any weapon that has the ruby, because that gives the fire element. Now, once you have the scepter and the staff, or even if you have a rod and you want to change what that element is, you need to put that new element on it. So I'm going to get 2 rubies. Let's scroll through here to get them. And I am going to equip it. Let's see, equip the weapon I want. There we go. Let's get another one. Okay, so some things to notice first of all. Whether we're using the weapon or the shield, the ruby, if we have to melt ice, all we have to do is have this equipped. It's going to melt the ice for us. Okay? So I can put one of these on here, and it's going to continue to melt. I can take the shield off. I'm still going to melt because we have this element. You do not have to use the weapon at all, so you're not going to wear down on the durability. Okay? Now, let's see what these are going to look like when they attack. We're going to start with the broadsword. So on all these experiments, I'm going to start with the broadsword with the gemstone. And then I'm going to use the staff, the scepter, and the rod in that order so we can see this. Okay. So first of all, using my rusty broadsword here, I just press the Y button, I get this. If I hold the Y button down, it's going to shoot 5 in directions all around me. And they can come back to us. So they can ricochet back. Okay. So let's go to the staff. Now the staff is used basically like a spear. Okay. If I push the Y button one time, I get 3 fireballs that come out. Press it a couple times. I could get a set of them. I have to let it recharge. Okay, so now it's recharged. If I do it a couple times, I get 2 sets. If I hold the Y button down so it charges up, then I get a bunch of them that come out in a line like that. Okay. For anything that's an ice monster, like say the Ice Breathless Alpha, this will kill them in 1 hit. Okay. Now let's go to my favorite ones here, which are the rods. Okay. So if I just hit Y one time, I get 3 that go out pretty fast. Okay. In other words, I hit the Y button and it doesn't have to hesitate. If I hold the Y button down, this is the cool part. It's 10 of them in all directions. They're like 36 degrees apart each. And they will bounce around until they either dissipate or they hit something. So that's the fire element part of this. So I really like the rods. They're my favorite part. Okay, so let's go look at the sapphires. And on the way to looking at the sapphires, what I'm going to do so I don't lose the rubies is I'm going to hit over here where I put a travel medallion, and I'm going to see Pellison. And he's going to take the rubies off of these so I don't lose them. On this video, we're going to be focused on Sapphire. Now, similar to using the ruby shield and the ruby weapon, Sapphire gives some benefit for heat protection. Okay? But if you'll notice, Link is wearing heat-resistant armor. If we remove the heat-resistant armor and go back to what I normally wear, he's going to be taking damage. Now, the interesting thing is, he's got the Sapphire shield already equipped. He's got a Sapphire rod already equipped. Okay? So, what's it going to take? If I had one piece of heat-resistant armor, I am now okay. If I remove one of these, I'm still okay. But if I remove both, then I am not. So this doesn't seem to give as much benefit. But the area I was at with the ruby weapon and ruby shield might not have been as cold as this area is hot. So that could make all the difference. Okay. So don't discount the sapphires just because it doesn't look good with regards to the resistance on this. Okay, so I've got these three weapons here. I'm going to go ahead and put sapphires on them. I've already got it on that one. Duh. Oop. Getting ahead of myself here. And finally, I traded in my rusty broadsword for a non-rusty one here. Okie dokie. So it probably wouldn't hurt for me to actually put the sapphire on it. There we go. All right, so let's start with, well, hi Molduga. In another video, I wiped him out pretty bad. I'm just going to get basically one freezing cloud here. Okay. If I charge it up, we're going to get 5 of them and all around me. All right. If I'm go to the staff, which is like the spear, I get one big one in front of me, so that's nice. If I charge it up, I'm going to get a lot of it in front of me. Except I got to let it actually recharge. There we go. That's going to freeze a huge area in front of me. If I go to the magic scepter, just like the two-handed weapon, I just hit once. This is what I get. If I hold it and charge it, it's going to go all around me, but then it's got to recharge. So it runs out. Go with the sapphire rod, and this is my favorite one. One hit puts this big area out in front of me. If I hold it and charge it, huge area all around me. So let's get these taken off of here with pellets in, and we'll go with the next element. In this part of the video, we're going to be showing the effects of Topaz. Let's go ahead and get these We're going to start with the sword. So I decided to do this over here. There's no special reason other than the fact that it's a wide open area. And I wanted it to be a little bit darker without being too totally dark. Okay, so if I just hit the Y button one time, this will cause shock damage. I charge it 5 directions all at once. Okay. Let's go to the staff. Press the Y button one time, I get 3 of those electrical balls that come out. Hit it twice, I get this. Okay. But then you might need to let it charge up. Hold down the Y button so it does charge. And I get this type of attack. What's good about these weapons is if I walk into an enemy camp and say I don't have all these weapons down here, I'm pretty much empty, right? And I have one topaz weapon, like the topaz rod. Very easy to get. And they're all over the place. Then basically I can do this and shock 3 enemies and take their weapons or shields, whatever. If I want to charge it up, 10 directions all the way around me. So if I'm in an area where they're closing in on me, I can do that and get them pretty easy. Okay, so let's get ready for the next one. I'm going to see Pellison to take these gemstones off. In this part of the video, we're going to be focusing on Opal. So let me get these set up. Okay. So starting with the broadsword. That's pretty nice. Now normally what I do is I just throw splash fruit on it. If I am holding it down, let me charge, I can get 5 directions all around my body. So that's really, really nice. Okay. Go to another little area over here, get some more sludge. Alright, there we go. So, the next one we're going to try this with is the staff. Okay, if I do just one hit. Yeah, that's pretty nice. And it's rolling around. And what's really good about the magic weapons is it will do 3, not just 1. Okay. So if I am charging it up, then I'm going to get 10 of them that go out in front of me like this. Okay. On the Scepter, this is the one that would be like the 2-handed sword. That's pretty nasty. I'll just throw one like that. A little bit further over here. If I want to go around me, let's go like that. Charge up. It's going to clear that area around me. So that is very nice, very nice. Okay, I'm going to teleport back over to this to the shrine because unfortunately I don't have a lot of sludge left. Let me pause it for a moment. Okay, I got all the sludge reset, and make sure I'm on my Opal. Yep. Oh, if I just do one tap, clears all this out in front of me like this. Okay. It's not going to clear that out. I really doubt it. But I'm going to hold it down to charge. And it cleans up a whole big area around me, which is very nice to do. When I do the water temple, I actually bring the Opal with me. Okay, let's get ready for the next one. In this part of the video, we're going to be showing the effects of star fragments on those weapons. Okay. Now, I'm in the depths, and I have done every light route. Okay. And you'll notice this area in front of me is still pretty dark. This part that I'm staying on right now is brightly lit up because I put a giant bright bloom seed on my flying machine. So you might say, well, why not use a giant bright bloom seed out here? And I can, but it won't stay lit up for some reason. So I've got some way out in the distance you can see those bright bloom seeds, but over here you don't get them. For some reason they just don't stay. So let's take a look at these. Star fragments. You can actually get the star fragment staff, I believe it is, from one of the shrines, and you can just Google online where that is. If I do this, it will put out a beam of light. And if I hold it down like that, it'll put out a beam of light in all directions. Okay. If I'm doing the staff, it puts out 3 beam of light straight ahead. Charging it, it's going to put out many of them, pretty much in a straight line, close to a straight line. Okay. If I use the Scepter, which is like the 2-handed sword, putting out 3, and I can charge it like this and put them in all 10 directions around me. And if we go with my favorite one, and this is the one I used when doing Thunderhead Island. I'm going to show you that in just a moment. I put the star fragment on the rod, or on the wand. And this works really good. So let's teleport over there and I'm going to show you what I mean. Up here in the sky, Thunderhead Island and Dragonhead Island, I have not cleared this thunderstorm. Yet very early in the game, I cleared this out. I show a video on how you can actually know where one is from the other. And I just came from this area down here, made a flying machine that could go up and a little bit over, and next thing you know, I am here. So, let me show you what this looks like when it's all messed up with the weather. Okay, so here I am outside those shrines, and I told you I did not clear this weather when I did them. Okay, but the way I use the star fragments on this, and I get a rod pretty early. Those are leakays, I believe. What I do is this, and I watch for where they bounce because they don't really help you see good, but it's kind of like a sonar type thing. You can see where they bounce, so you know where certain things are. Like I can see the silhouette of the tree from where it bounced, right? And you can see the contour of the ground, but if I don't know if there's something like out in front of me, I can do this. And I can see if there's anything that I might be able to land on. And see how far those are going out? So there's nothing at the level of where I'm at right here. So then I can go all around at one time, and that might help me find my way. This is one of the things I did when I first did these shrines. This is my second playthrough, and I have not cleared this area until after I've done the shrines. So let's get ready for the next one. Okay, in this part of the video, we're going to show the effects of the different gemstones and some of the dragon items and see if they actually do anything. Okay, so we're going to start with the magic scepter and a luminous stone. We're just going to do one item as each thing because they all pretty much work the same way. So if I pull this out, it does give some glow, but it doesn't actually have any benefit at all. Okay. So let's look at, I'm not going in a particular order, the magic staff with a diamond on it. Regular strikes. Charge. It doesn't really do anything, but the diamond does give an attack upgrade based on the fact that it's a plus 25. So let's try a Shard of Ferocious spike. So all the spikes should pretty much work the same with these magic weapons. So this one does throw out some sparks. So I need to let it charge up. There we go. But I've noticed it working like this with swords too. So it's not that the magic weapon's really going to be that great for it. Okay, this is a general spike. Got some flames. In all directions, but it doesn't make them as projectiles like the gemstones would. This is amber. Doesn't seem to really do anything. other than a slight attack upgrade. So if I take this broadsword here and I use one of those on it, like Ferocious Horn, it's giving us sparks also. So if you're using a dragon part like that, it's going to give you some good elemental effect. But I very much prefer to use the magic rods with the gemstones on it like I had earlier. My recommendation for what to do if you damage one of these, because you use it a lot, and I've only damaged one in about 500 hours of play, but say you do damage it, okay? So this is what I would do. Imagine I have my gemstone on here like I did earlier. I'd go to Peloton, I'd have him do his thing and remove that gemstone, okay? If it's a Sapphire or Ruby, Topaz, you don't get too much profit out of it. Sapphire or Ruby, you do get a decent amount, okay? Then from here, you want to go visit some Rock Oktoroks, and I marked the ones I go to the most over here by this shrine. I'm going to show you that. So I'm going to pause. So what you need to do, you need to take this non-magic weapon, in this case we're going to do the Scepter, and you want, or you'll need, to fuse the weapon to a non-magic weapon. Okay, now I'm just going to drop it, and I'm going to send it over for the Octorok. And I have had to do this once, and it worked, okay? First thing I did, though, is I took the weapon over to the Rock Oktoroks and he just spit it out like he just did a moment ago. So, you fuse it to another weapon. I hope I didn't go too far. There we go. So you can take it in. When you see these bubble thingies coming up, try to get out of the way. And then he did this upgrade to it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this over to Peloton. I always leave a travel medallion right there. I'm going to pause while he's doing it. Okay, so over at Peloton, I'm going to give him this fused weapon. And have him do, oops, no, don't do that one. I gotta have this off there. Break it down. Okay, so now I've got this sword back, and it actually has an upgrade with durability up. Take the magic scepter. It did not get the upgrade, but if the magic scepter had been damaged, it would be repaired at this point. So you don't necessarily have to go and get into one of the two shrines that have these weapons, and you don't have to go to the bargainer statue. My recommendation for what to do if you damage one of these, because you use it a lot, and I've only damaged one in about 500 hours of play, but say you do damage it, okay? So this is what I would do. Imagine I have my gemstone on here like I did earlier. I'd go to Peloton, I'd have him do his thing and remove that gemstone, okay? If it's a Sapphire or Ruby, Topaz, you don't get too much profit out of it. Sapphire or Ruby, you do get a decent amount, okay? Then from here, you want to go visit some Rock Oktoroks, and I marked the ones I go to the most over here by this shrine. I'm going to show you that. So I'm going to pause. So what you need to do, you need to take this non-magic weapon, in this case we're going to do the Scepter, and you want, or you'll need, to fuse the weapon to a non-magic weapon. Okay, now I'm just going to drop it and send it over for the Oktoroks. And I have had to do this once and it worked. Okay. First thing I did though is I took the weapon over to the Rock Oktoroks and just spit it out like he just did a moment ago. So, you fuse it to another weapon. I hope I didn't go too far. There we go. So you can take it in. When you see these bubble thingies coming up, try to get out of the way. And then he did this upgrade to it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this over to Pelison. I always leave a travel medallion right there. I'm going to pause while he's doing it. Okay, so over at Pelison, I'm going to give him this fused weapon. And have him do... Oops. No, don't do that one. I gotta have myself there. Break it down. Okay, so now I've got this sword back, and it actually has an upgrade with durability up. Take the magic scepter. It did not get the upgrade, but if the magic scepter had been damaged, it would be repaired at this point. So you don't necessarily have to go and get into one of the 2 shrines that have these weapons, and you don't have to go to the bargainer statue.